And we're joined by Luke Stack, very much an incumbent. This would be your 5th term in office, 14 years. So is that a plus? Some are saying we've got to change things up, but what do you say?
I see it's a plus in some ways because I bring experience. I've been around the block a couple of times. I've been involved in the OCP 2030, the OCP 2040, and I have a memory. So I think having some experienced people on council is an asset. Saying that also, having some new blood is also good. So I think a council, because we have 8 council members and a mayor, a mix is always the healthiest.
So a few things change on council that might inject some energy, but you wouldn't want to swap everyone out at once, would you?
No, actually that's right, because you lose all the history. So I do think some regular turnover and change is healthy, but I think some experience and some of the people that have been around for a while just bring some stability to the council going forward. And looking back, the council has been very stable these last years, and city councils have all worked together. And all the councils I've been on, there's been a lot of cooperation and camaraderie between council members. And I think that is one of the reasons Kelowna has had a very successful mayor and council for many years.
That's a good thing if everyone's agreeing. Shouldn't there be a heated exchange of ideas? Doesn't that make things vibrant and productive?
I would say an exchange, not a heated exchange. I think an exchange is good, and we've had a really good examples of that very recently where we had a few votes that were tie, right, and are very, very close. So to me, that's an indication that we have a variety of views on council and that we're debating them.
So as you look ahead to the next 4 years, what do you see as priorities?
Well, the one thing, there's a number of things we hear regularly, and one is that we really have to keep focusing on community safety. We've had a lot of challenges. It comes from crime, it comes from homelessness, vagrancy, some of those issues. The community really wants council to keep working on that. And I would argue we have. We've put a huge amount of focus on that. But needless to say, that focus can't be lifted. We need to continue doing that. So that's one area of concern I have.
One notable change over in recent years are all these high rises. When you look around and see how Kelowna's skyline is changing, do you like it?
Generally, yeah, I do. I think it's been good. The most recent example is the UBC Tower is a little taller than I would like, but truthfully, to get UBC campus downtown Kelowna is a huge coup for the city. I mean, this is 600 units of student housing, nurse training, social work training, right in the core of our city. Like, we're very, very fortunate to have that. But we have asked staff to go back and look at our downtown plan for the layout of where the tallest buildings should be and how high they should be. And that's one of the OCP amendments that's still under consideration. And I do think we need to do more work on that to make sure we come up with the right mix.
The issue that never goes away is homelessness. I know that your council has worked hard, worked with other levels of government. There's been tons of housing created, hundreds of people housed in recent years, but yet there's hundreds more. Some would say, oh, it's done nothing.
Well, it has done something because we've helped work in partnership with BC Housing to build over 300 units of supportive housing. People are living in those units today. If we didn't have those, I shudder to think what would be going on in our city.
Right. So even if the problem is still bad, it would be that much worse had you not done it.
Yeah, I think Kelowna's done an excellent job as a partner with BC Housing to attract as many resources that are available to our city. So I'm proud of that. I wish, however, that we wouldn't have so many new people coming and living on the streets. But part of that is an outcome of the price of rent. Like, we've seen lift of rent and housing costs go through the roof the last 5 years. So in essence, that's actually pushing more people into poverty. And so it's actually working against us.
Right. Is there anything a council can do? I know to some extent you're a leaf on the wind. You can't control housing prices, but there are some things you can do as a council.
Well, one thing we can do is approve as much housing as possible that's good housing in the right locations. So that means apartment housing, rental housing. We've been strong advocates in the last few years, and I will continue to be, to make sure we're building as much appropriate housing as we can in our city.
Right. Well,
so.
Terrific.
One of the other areas I do want to touch on, one of the things that I really want to focus on in the next 4 years is quality of life in Kelowna. One of the issues I've heard from the public a lot on is we want to maintain the very issue or reasons we came to Kelowna. That means really good parks. That means recreation facilities. We have a great need for ice rinks. We have a great need for soccer fields. We have a great need for baseball diamonds. We have a great need for pickleball courts. We need to expand our beaches, like the addition of Bluebird Beach and others. Like we really need to focus on continuing to do that and protect those assets that the city residents love. And that's one of the things I want to stand up for in the next few years.
Terrific. Sounds good. Thanks for your time.
You're
Best
welcome.
of luck. And thank you for watching Kelowna Now.